Hi, Michael here again. Welcome to step one of the Aspire Startup Steps. Now, in this step is probably one of my favorite topics because it changed everything for me when I first got started. I'm going to show you how to build a six-figure digital business in 90 days from scratch, just the way I did. I was able to get to, when I first got started in this space, in this industry, using the ascension business model, which I'm going to talk about here over the next few steps. It changed everything for me. It took me from making 5-10 grand a month to making 25 and then 50, and then I got to over $100,000 a month. Now, I know those sound like big numbers to you, but I'll tell you that it was absolutely 100% true when I got started about 10 years, almost 12 years ago now, in the early 2000s, and it took me to a whole nother level. And you have so many other tools and resources and platforms and leverage points that I never had to get to the next level very quickly. So I know I can do the same for you by teaching you this. So I look forward to getting into this with step one here. So let's do it, and I'll see you on the inside of step one. Michael Force here again. Welcome to step one of our Aspire Startup Steps here. Now, this is a very important step, so I want to make sure you take it really seriously. We're going to be going to exactly how to make six figures in the next 90 days or less with a high-ticket, top-tier direct sales business model. We are now at the beginning of the startup step, so make sure you plug in, grab a pen and paper, take some notes, and let's dig in here. I'm going to be able to show you how to get the most out of these steps and maximize the value here so you can actually go out and apply it and get real world results and start making real money and real sales. So let's dig in here. Let's move on to our next page here. Now, today we officially begin your journey. The very first thing you're going to go over is what exactly is a high-ticket, top-tier business and why you want one. And in my opinion, why you need one if you really want to get out of your existing current situation or to change your life. In my view, you have a lot of choices when it comes to internet marketing, online marketing, but high ticket and top tier is really the only one for me. It's the one that's paid me the most, more than any other business model online in my 15 to 20 years of experience. And I'll explain why that is right in this step. In this business model, it'll take you 6- and 7-figure income in a much shorter period of time than most of any other businesses or systems will, and or what's out there. So as soon as you see, it's really the best choice for you too. The commissions are bigger, it's easier, you don't need as many customers, and you have much bigger profits per customer. So let's break it down. First and foremost, of course, your time is precious, and we have made every effort to provide you with value in a condensed and easy to understand format. While the main training videos are usually going to be around 10 to 30 minutes each, some of the steps, especially in the beginning, those first few steps, have some additional supporting videos and or links, PDFs, and or information below here. So it may require a little extra time, but I can tell you it's well worth it. Those videos are here to help you gain a deeper understanding. So set aside some time. Make sure that you're focused and not distracted, and make sure you reach out to your coach. So let's set a few rules in place, those first, so that you can actually get results. Now let me tell you something that's very interesting that'll probably surprise you. Since we released this program, we have actually had quite a number of people go through this training, literally tens of thousands. What's interesting is that when you look back at the stats, I can always see how many people completed step 1, step 2, right up to all of the final steps. Now, I want you to go through each step in detail, read through them a couple of times, and watch all the videos, okay? So I want you to also think about it like the ab cruncher. Someone sees an ad at night, they want great abs. They order it, and they're ready to get great abs. It shows up on their doorstep, they do a couple of ab crunches and go, ooh, oh, ow, that hurts. And they give up and throw it in the closet or the garage to never use it or see it again. And they never get the abs. But if they actually took the time, took the 10 minutes out of each day to actually do those ab crunches, they would have abs right now, and they'd have the results they are looking for. It's no different here with this system and or our program online, is that if you do the work, you are going to get the results. It's just that simple. It's a simple math equation. I'm telling you this because if you want to get results in business and in life, and you want to be in the top 5% where you're getting most of the results, you got to be willing to do what most aren't willing to do. Putting aside 30 to 60 minutes a day to go through one step per day, most people aren't even willing to do that, which is a sad shame to change their life. I can tell you that if they do that, some will, do it for 2 days or 3 days or 4 days. Some will do it for a little bit. But I want you to commit to this program. I want you to commit that you're going to set aside the time each and every day, going through every complete step, that you're going to watch all the videos that we ask you to watch. Every single video and every single step is all there for a purpose, for a reason. There's nothing accidental. It's all been designed to allow you to learn this business so you can actually go out and get real results. Go through a step a day if you can. In each step, they're going to be different amounts of time. Some will be shorter, some will be longer. Some will be very short, and also in each step, we're going to have some additional videos you can watch as well. But if, again, you want to get those results, go the extra mile and watch those extra videos. I can tell you from experience, and having been at the 7- and 8-figure level for the last 15 years online, there are no traffic jams along the extra mile. That's basically a metaphor for those people who don't go the extra mile. Most people won't go the distance. Make yourself different. If you want different results, if you want to be in the top 1%, 5%, or top 20% of the world in income, you got to be willing to do what no one else is willing to do. That's what I did, and it changed my life. I know you can do the same. So let's get into it. As you go through these steps, you're going to learn that our system and program really allows you to have a business running at full steam after your first few weeks and eventually on near autopilot after more than 30 days, making money for you automatically. That leverage point that I talked about in the last step being some automation to be able to spend the time with the people you care most about, to have a business that runs for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, around the world, so you can stop trading time for money or getting your hands dirty to put dollars in your pocket, and you can actually get real results that bring you income into your bank account. That's the goal. The goal is total time freedom. That's really what we're in business for, right? The idea of having a business that has systems in place that do most of the work for us. So we can just simply monitor it, make slight adjustments, but the system is doing the majority of the work. That's just good business. That's what most successful people do. Now, here's what you're going to learn in this step. Let me break it down for you here. You're going to learn how any newbie can build a 6-figure digital business in 90 days or less with high ticket and top tier. You're also going to learn the math, the spreadsheets behind what it takes to create a real online high ticket top tier income. I'm going to break it down for you. You'll also learn how to create a real business plan based on logic and results versus hype and hope, which you've probably seen all over the internet. There are all kinds of systems and things that are promising you all kinds of unrealistic stuff. But I can tell you, we're going to keep it real here for you. We're going to break it down and give you the real deal so you are clear and you know exactly what you have to do to get the results you want. We're also going to break down what are the 5 essential elements or principles of any online business success. We're also going to show you why this business model is easier and more lucrative than an offline business, like a franchise or a mom and pop business or a brick and mortar business. We're also going to show you how a former U.S. Marine has averaged 7 figures a year for the last 15 years using high ticket and top tier. I know you like that kind of consistency in your income. I know I do, and it's absolutely possible. I'm living proof of it, that if I can do it, you can do it too, for decades to come. You can learn to write your own paycheck for life. But first, I want to tell you this. I was just like you. As I mentioned in my last video, I was a former U.S. Marine, just getting out of the United States Marine Corps after giving back to our country as my mom and dad and as many of my grandparents, aunts, and uncles did. After I got out of the United States Marine Corps, I got to travel the world. I got to see a lot of things. But the advent of the internet was coming online and people were making money hand over fist. It was the late 90s, as we all remember, before the bubble burst. But now we've seen it level out, and we've seen people continually making money. 20-year-olds. There are 12-year-olds making $100,000 a month on YouTube and crazy things like that. There's all kinds of stuff that's going on out there. And I can tell you, when I got online, I went to the School of Hard Knocks, trial and error after the United States Marine Corps. I tried everything under the sun. I've spent more money than I'd like to admit to, but everything has a cost. Education. You spend 2, 4, 6, 8 years in college to make $50,000 a year, right? Online, it's going to have a cost too. There's going to be a cost to educating yourself on how to start or how to learn an online business. But I was willing to pay that price, and I did, and it changed my life. Now I've been married over 20 years We got married young, of course. My wife and I were about 20 years old, but we waited a few years before we had kids. And we have 2 beautiful daughters now, and now we get to live the life of our dreams and travel the world, doing whatever we want to do, whenever we want to do it. This picture was taken in the south of France on the beach. Take my girls there every single summer. We spend a month in the south of France every single summer. We do all the things that families love to do and want to do, to spend time with each other and travel around the world and get all of those new experiences. And I can tell you that the way I do it is by part of traveling, and the things that I love to do is also coaching and training. Picture of me here in Las Vegas training around almost 5,000 people in that room that day, and I've trained tens of thousands online over the last 15 years. And I've also trained them offline, one-on-one as well. I've trained them in groups of 10, 20, 100, up to 5,000 people in a room, even 1,000 people in a room. I've done it all when it comes to training, coaching, and teaching. I've been a speaker for many years, and it's one of my passions. I love to train, teach, and coach. I've done it all over the world and continue to do it for the rest of my life, as it's my passion to really see people get results, to take them from where they are and really get them to take flight and change their life. It often brings me to tears when I'm on stage. You'll see that at some of our events. We also do live events as part of our program. We do local live events, we do regional, and we do national events. You'll see all that kind of stuff and probably get to meet you in person at some point. And I can tell you that it's very impactful to be able to hear the stories and see the lives impacted and changed, as it's one of my passions and I love to do it every single day. I've personally consulted, trained, mentored, or worked with the top 3% of our industry's leaders and company owners here over the last 15 years. And it's been a great pleasure to be able to see people who were newbies 3 years ago, now making 6 and 7 figures, some even 8 figures online. People still send me messages today, still send me an email years later and say, hey, I learned something from you online, a gold nugget. Or it was the first experience I had coming online and it changed everything for me. That's huge, and I can tell you that's what drives me. It's what lights my fire inside to be able to coach and train and teach people one-on-one. And it's also one-on-many, webinars, trainings, coaching, videos like this. I've been doing it for years, and I absolutely love it. The industry changed my life, and I know it has allowed me to travel and really live the life of my dreams. My wife and I have been all over the world, from the Caribbean to Africa to the Mediterranean to Rome to Italy to every country in Europe, and every state in America, Canada, Mexico, the South Pacific, China, Asia, just all over the world, Greece and everywhere in between, Monaco. We've been obviously to Italy a number of times, London, England, all over the world, the Caribbean, every island, nearly every island there, Paris, of course, as well. We've been to, like I said, Rome. We've been all over Monaco, Greece. I mean, we have been able to travel the world. There's a shot of Venice, London, obviously, the Caribbean, Paris. I can tell you that it's really changed everything for us. But what's more important is that it's the beginning of a new and exciting journey for you. I want you to take each one of these steps very seriously. Take the time to read them and go through them in detail. Read them with a couple of times if you need to. Make sure you complete the required steps each day. Reach out to your coach and let them know what you're learning. Any aha moments, something you need help to better understand. We want to know. As you progress through these steps, you'll discover that our system really allows you to have your own business up and running and rolling here in the next couple of weeks. So let's work together and get you that freedom that you're literally looking for. So let's jump into it. First and foremost, I want to explain to you how an offline business works. Okay? Most of you are familiar with this. If you're not, I can tell you it's very simple. You just need to get people to your store. That's what we call traffic online. Foot traffic, people traffic, whatever you want to call it. They need to see your advertisements. They need to walk by your store or drive by. Walk into your Subway, look at the menu. They buy something. You deliver it to them and they make a profit. That's the simplicity of an offline business. The beauty is that it's really no different online. An online business is very similar. You have traffic. People are clicking around on websites and links and Googling things and going to Facebook and jumping around. Each time someone clicks on something, that makes them turn into traffic. And the more people you get, which are traffic to your store or your website, which is in this case, Subway is a physical store. A website is a virtual store. A virtual store, they click on your website, they see the menu, they see what you're offering, and they buy it, or they don't, and you deliver it, and you make a profit. It's the same exact process. The only difference is it's virtual, and then it becomes physical. And in some cases, it's not even physical, because in this day and age, we're living in the digital information age. There are lots of products, millions and millions of products that are all in digital format now. Think about all the books, all the music, all the education, all the training, all the tutorials, all the videos, everything that you see out there. People are buying more and more information online than they have ever bought since the history of time. Last year, e-learning alone was a $100 billion a year industry, and corporate training, it was a $200 billion a year industry. Think about all the books and all the music. Tens of billions of dollars are out there to be spent. People are buying more information online than they have ever bought. And all of that is turning into e-learning. We've all spent 2, 4, 6, 8 years in college, $150,000 or more to get a degree or a master's degree, to go out and make $50,000 or $75,000 a year, maybe $100,000 a year if you're lucky. But now all of that information is coming online. Harvard, University of Phoenix, and everything in between is doing online tutorials and trainings now. Everybody is being trained and coached to learn online. People are spending more money to buy information products now than they ever have. More people buy information online than any other product. More than jeans or sunglasses or anything. People buy digital information online more than they buy anything online. And that's an incredibly powerful trend and opportunity for you that I'm going to break down here for you a few minutes that you can capitalize on. Expertise has value. Selling expertise has been happening since the beginning of time. What we're going to do is break down here for you real quickly is all the 5 of the essential principles of an online business. And they are already there for you to plug into after you've completed setting up the basics here. But let's get into the basics first. So what are these 5 principles, these 5 elements? Well, the first one is traffic, as I mentioned. Yes, eyeballs on your business, okay, in the virtual world. The more people you get to your website, the more products you sell. It's just that simple. The more products you sell, the more profit you make. That's the simple equation. Analytics, like you see in front of you here from Google, show you that you can get traffic all over the world. United States, United Kingdom, India, Canada, Germany, France, and beyond. Breaks down all of the traffic, whether it comes from paid traffic, organic traffic, referral traffic, direct traffic, email traffic, so on and so forth. There's lots of ways for people to get to your website. And because you're just beginning, I'm not going to get into all of that to give you the information overload. But there are some basic strategies to get people to your website. And we'll help you through that so you can learn. The more people, like I said, you get to your website, the more money you make. Like I said, there are over 12-year-olds out there making $100,000 a month on YouTube. There's teenagers making $1 million a month by getting so much traffic to their YouTube videos, their Google, their websites, or Facebook, or whatever it is. They're adding value to the marketplace. And people are coming and they are getting paid. No matter how silly or crazy it sounds, it's happening. That's the simplicity of it. That's the power of traffic. Number two is a funnel. Okay, a conversion funnel, a sales funnel. We've been walking through these our whole lives, whether you really knew it or not. There's a number of words for it, filter, funnel. There's all kinds of different words for it, but you've been walking through them, again, like I said, your whole life, whether you knew it or not. Ever been to Disney World or Disneyland? There's a reason why you're corralled through all kinds of things and you end up in the gift shop. They want you to spend money. They want you to pull out your wallet and swipe your credit card. It's been happening at the grocery store your entire life. Have you ever wondered why the eggs and the milk and the meat are all at the back of the store? Because they want you to walk through all of the aisles where all the expensive processed food is. It's more profitable for them. That's why they want you to walk through it. That's why they put all that stuff in the back. There's a number of different things. You ever get an offer for a free teeth cleaning, walk in or walk out with a root canal? We've seen it. We've all done it. You ever go to buy an iPhone and next thing you know, you're buying an iMac or a MacBook Pro or subscribing to iTunes and buying music and movies? That's all a funnel. It's all a sales funnel to filter, okay? That's all designed essentially to pull your wallet out of your pocket and start swiping. We've all been walking through them our entire lives, whether we knew it or not. They create the awareness, then the interest, then the decision, and the action. This is a sales funnel. Online, you see it mostly as websites, a series of pages or websites that will take you through a process. Think about Amazon. When you go through, you keep looking from one page to the next, and they're grabbing out products and saying, hey, you might like this. Hey, you might like that. Then they go and buy it and add a couple of things into your cart. And next thing you know, all of those things, ads are following you around all over the internet of that thing that you bought, right? That's all retargeting. It's another form of getting advertising around you so you can come back to their website. It's all part of a process of marketing to get you to buy more. That's a funnel. That's very powerful. The other one is what we call a filter. The filter is once they come through the funnel as a lead or a name and email address or a phone number. It's what we call a name and email address online. A lead would be someone who walks into a physical store. They turn into a prospect. Then they turn into a customer, and that customer turns into sales. It's always good to have a filter so people can walk through it. Think about when you're walking through the mall, for example. A great example of a filter, that is how many stores are in the mall. There's lots of people walking through the mall, but not everybody walks into every single store. So as soon as someone walks into the store, they become a lead. As soon as they pick up a shirt and someone asks, may I help you? They become a prospect. As soon as they get the help and go try it on and they like it, they become a customer. Then, once they become a customer, they give you their money, and now you make sales. It's no different. There's a filter. There's a process. A great example of them all is another sales funnel. There's a reason why it all smells so good and looks so nice in the front of the store. And a lot of stores do this, even at the gambling casinos in Las Vegas. They pump oxygen in there, and they do all kinds of other stuff to get you excited and get you pumped up so you feel good and you're willing to spend more money. That's all part of a funnel and filter for Fortune 500 companies on down to essentially generate more sales. So what's number 4? Number 4 is follow-up. If you've never heard the term, fortune is in the follow-up. That's what CRMs are for. CRMs are customer relationship management tools. Salesforce.com, sound familiar? A multi-billion-dollar company because all the Fortune 500 companies use it to track their customers, their clients, and their databases. They need to make sure that they're following up and generating sales through that process. The fortune is in the follow-up. You can use email, you can use the phone, you can use text. There's a number of ways to follow up. Retargeting, advertising, all kinds of ways to follow up. But that is one of the key elements to online success is the follow-up. It's a very, very, very powerful tool. People have to see things 6 to 7 times before they make a decision to buy. Now, what's number 5 here? Well, that's tiered products or ascension products. Having a tiered product mix or an ascension product mix, there's a number of names for it, but ultimately every Fortune 500 company on down uses it. And you've probably been pretty used to it. We've all been upgraded. We've all been upselled. We're all being taken to the next level when it comes to products, and rightly so. I'm happy to be upgraded at any time because I know that I'm going to get more and more quality the higher I go. I'm going to get better and better and better. When I get an iPhone, they get me in with the iPhone for a couple $100. Next thing you know, I want an iPad. Next thing you know, I want a MacBook Pro. Next thing you know, I want a 27-inch iMac. Why don't I want all those things? Of course I do. I love all those things. In fact, I'm an Apple guy. I have been since the late 1990s, long before the huge rush that we saw here in the last few years. But naturally, I'm an early adopter. I love technology. I love things that are just coming out. So I was an Apple guy long before, but I tell you that it makes perfect sense why they have a perfect tiered product mix. Okay, what they have. They get you in with the iPhone. Next thing you know, you're signing up for iTunes. You're signing up to buy music and movies, and you're getting your iPad, and your kids are downloading games, and you got apps and mobile apps, and you got all the other tools and resources and software, and all the stuff's all integrated, and it's all monetized and making money for them. One of the reasons why you want to have that kind of business, and that's what we offer here at Aspire. One of the reasons why they're one of the wealthiest companies in the world, literally tens of billions, $100 billion a year company. It's just simply crazy numbers. But that's because of a tiered product mix, meaning that there's upgrades and there's upsells. You want that in your business. That's a good thing. That means it's more profitable. Imagine if they only sold the iPhone. They wouldn't be a $100 billion a year company because they sell the iPad, the iMac, the MacBook Pro, and all the software and everything in between at every different price point you can imagine. That's the reason they're a $100 billion a year company. That's exactly the kind of business you want. You don't want to just sell an iPhone when you can sell all the other stuff too. That's the key to profitability. That's the key to really making money, and a lot of online businesses don't do that correctly. They just want to sell jeans or they just want to sell sunglasses, and they think they're going to make millions. But they actually need a tiered product mix for every potential customer's price point, because there are customers that can't afford a 27-inch iMac at $3,500. But there's a percentage of customers that can. So why wouldn't you offer it? Same with the MacBook Pro at $1,500. Some people can't afford it, but some can. So why wouldn't you offer it? Same with the iPad. Some people can't afford it, but some can. So why wouldn't you offer it? That is the key to profitability. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. So let's start by defining exactly what top-tier, high-ticket business is. Well, it's really just a term that gets thrown around a lot. Often it's by people who don't really know what it is. We're going to talk about exactly what it is and why it's a must in today's economy. And what are the pros and cons of different systems available out there. Let's break it down. So top tier or high ticket is basically a fancy term or word for a system that sells high ticket products or services rather than depending upon just low ticket products with a high volume to make decent money or decent sales. With top tier, it's possible to make more in a day than you would in an entire year in residuals. And in similar businesses selling low-ticket items, whether it be on Amazon or whether you're in a network marketing company selling lotions, potions, pills, or juices, or whether you're selling sunglasses or jeans on Spotify, whatever it is, if your price points are below $100, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You need a tiered product mix, and that's what top tier and high ticket is about, and we're going to break it down for you. Think for a minute of how much money you would need before you'd quit your job. This is a really important number to know because that's the goal. Chances are, if you're working a job right now, maybe you like your job, maybe you don't, but chances are you would rather be working from home, working on your own schedule, and having a business that does most of the work for you. How do you make that a reality? Well, first of all, what's your target? How much do you need to be making per month, per day, to be able to go to your boss and say, hey, no thank you. I'm going home because I don't want to work here anymore. Let's say, for example, that was $6,000 a month. Then what would you do? Well, let's break it down. Take out a calculator. Do this right now. Work out how much you need to be making per month and what that number works out to be per day. $6,000 a month works out to be just under $200 a day. Let's pretend that's your goal for the sake of this instructional purpose. Here's an example of a traditional non-high ticket, low ticket offer. Okay? Let's say that you had a traditional non-high ticket marketing system or program, some online business that would only make $5 a sale. For you to make $6,000 a month, and let's say that it's $5 in profit. So that's the money that you take home. To make $6,000 a month, you're going to have to make $1,200 in sales of that $5 product. If you had, say, another product that was, say, $9, you'd have to make 667 sales. If you had a product that was $57, you'd have to make 105 sales. You can do the math there, and you can pause the video and take notes if you like, but I can tell you that you have to make a lot of sales to make $6,000 a month with a low-ticket offer. On the other hand, with a high-ticket or top-tier system, if you want to make $6,000 a month and say you had a product that sells for $1,000, you only need to make 6 sales to make your goal. If you had a product that, say, paid you $3,000 in profit, you'd only need to make 2 sales. If you had a product, say, that sold for $5,000, you'd only have to make 2 sales a month to reach your goal with an additional $4,000 in profit. If you had a product that paid you $9,000, then you would only, again, need 1 sale. But you'd take home an extra $3,000 in profit. That is the power of a high-ticket or top-tier system like we have here with Aspire. A lot of people, when they hear about a high-ticket or top-tier business, they think, isn't it harder to sell a $9,000 product than it is to sell a $1,000 product? Well, not necessarily, and not at all, and I'll prove it to you. In this training, you're going to learn how to do it on a consistent basis and in a very leveraged way. I'm also going to get the option to have someone else do the phone sales for you. As I said in my last videos, phone sales and support is done for you. If you want to pick up the phone and make sales, you don't have to. You can actually leverage our phone sales team. This high-ticket, top-tier business model is not one that a lot of people know about, but it's behind some of the most successful businesses online, as I've already proved with Apple, on down, also offline. For example, let's think about it this way. Let's say that you were the owner of a company and you were selling sandwiches like Subway, but pretend that your sandwiches tasted much better. There's your sandwich and there's Subway sandwiches. Now, you want to make as much money as possible and as fast as possible with your sandwich shop, right? Well, what else are you going to do? Okay? Which way do you think you can get there faster? You can sell 1 million sandwiches at your sandwich shop. Let's just pretend that you sold them for $1, so they were cheap sandwiches. Let's just say that you sold 1 million sandwiches for $1 each. There's your $1 million. The other option is, let's say you created a franchise around your sandwich business like Subway did. You actually went out and sold the franchise to someone who wanted to be in business for themselves, and they paid you $1 million for that because you had the entire sandwich shop system set up. You had all the marketing in place, the entire system. They could just plug it into it and start using the system to get results immediately. That's worth a lot of money. Let's say they paid you $1 million for that. What do you think is going to be easier? Selling 1 million sandwiches from scratch or creating a system? Really, it's almost like a business in a box, a franchise that someone can actually purchase, and it's all set up for them. What do you think is going to make you $1 million faster? Selling 1 million sandwiches or selling one franchise? What you're looking at here, the slides gives us the number of Subway stores in the US alone, okay? Most of them being owned by franchisees. Now, why do you think that someone's going to spend that type of money? Hundreds of thousands. Or let's pretend $1 million just to open their sandwich shop. Like I said before, it's because of systems, and it's because of leverage. With a franchise, you are guaranteed a system that is proven to work. It's proven to work because other people have actually made it work. You just have to plug into the system, and you are much more likely to get results than a normal business that doesn't have a pre-existing system in place. Let's talk about leverage for a second. With a Subway, if you buy a Subway franchise, you're getting to leverage their billion-dollar brand. You get to leverage off their advertising campaigns. For example, when you see the Subway commercial on television, if you're in business of selling Subway, then that's going to help you. You get their proven products, you have their funnels in place. Yes, even Subway has sales funnels. That's why Subway can sell so many of their franchises, because it's basically a business wealth in a box, as long as you can afford to actually buy in. If you go it alone and you're just selling sandwiches at a few dollars a pop, and you don't have any systems and process in place, it's going to be very hard to scale up your business. I'll ask you again, what do you think is going to be easier to sell? 1 million sandwiches or just one franchise? It'll take you a lot longer, and it'll be a lot harder to sell 1 million sandwiches. On the other hand, there's a lot of people looking out there to start their own business, their own restaurant. They want a proven system. They don't want to go and try and build this from scratch, spending all this money trying to figure out for themselves and have to be there's a good chance that they're going to fail. They'd much rather plug into a system that's already proven to be profitable. The odds are very good that if you have a proven system like Subway in place, you're going to be able to easily sell a franchise with minimal effort, especially when you're trained on how to attract these people to your business and your company. The odds are very good that if you have a proven system like Subway in place, that it's going to be quite easy, relatively easy, to sell a few franchises at a lot less effort, especially if you get the training on how to do it by the head of the company. If they show you how to do it and they show you how they've been doing it for years, chances are you're going to be able to do the same thing. We've seen that, of course, in our own business. We've sold many thousands of courses online at the cost of under $10. Well, we have, for example, an ebook that sells for just a couple of dollars. We've sold many of them. If you add that up to the revenue we make from selling those couple of dollar ebooks, it's a very, very small percentage of our overall profits. But for example, this training program is really good. That's why it's well worth over $1 trial and $37 a month. If we wanted to, we could easily increase the price and we'd still be dealing with only nickels and dimes. The reason why we're successful as a company is because of our high-ticket offers. With us, you have something much more powerful using the sort of business model that we've created, especially if you don't have the option to go and buy a franchise, something like a Subway for $1 million. That's much easier to get plugged into. You see, even Subway has its drawbacks. It's a great business model, but being a physical business, they've got a lot of overhead to consider. They've got rent, employees, space, inventory, insurance, payroll. You've got to get involved on a daily basis in the real world. All of this. You've got to pay a manager's salary. You've got employees. You've got all these headaches to deal with day in and day out. You've got to pay $1 million just to start it up. What sets us apart here with our system is that we are primarily a digital company. We focus on digital-based products in the information age or the digital age. Our profit margins are extremely high. Now, why is that? Well, we don't have the high custom fulfillment. We don't have to maintain a huge warehouse full of inventory with lots of people on staff. There isn't a need for shipping or the expensive costs of having something physically actually produced in a factory and sent out to the people. We don't have to worry about insurance and liabilities. That's the power of an online business. It's really the definitive profit model. What this is and also allows us to do is pass on a much higher profit margin to our partners, to our affiliates, people just like you, so they can earn a very large commission. Here's an extremely important point. The economics of business today require that you have a high-ticket product or service in an ascension model. In other words, it requires that you have what we call a back end. Otherwise, it's very hard to be profitable. If you remember the Apple example I gave you, they have a front end, which is their iPhone. But they have all of these other back ends, their iPads, their MacBook Pros, their 27-inch iMacs, and all of the software, and all of their accessories. One thing that I have seen in this industry over the years is the cost of advertising is constantly on the rise. It's only going in one direction, and I've only seen it go up. That puts a lot of people in a dangerous position. No matter what they're promoting, whether it be jeans or sunglasses, anything on Amazon or digital products or information-based products, the cost of getting a customer is continuing to go up because you have to spend advertising to get that customer. Their business has a lifetime value that is staying the same. Lifetime customer value is what a customer will spend over the lifetime with a particular company. What we've seen is that the lifetime customer value isn't going up, but the advertising costs are. So what does this mean? The profit margins aren't really increasing at the same time either. In other words, their margins are getting squeezed by rising advertising costs, but their lifetime customer value is staying the same. So what do they do? Well, while we're on the topic, there's a lot of hype about getting free traffic, the idea of being able to advertise your business for free. Well, here's the truth. Don't buy into it. I've been marketing online for over 15 years, and everything has a cost. If we're talking about video marketing or SEO, search engine optimization, different ways of getting traffic, they are so-called free methods. They're not really free because they take up your time, and your time is money. The other important point is free traffic is not leveraged. Paid traffic is. It's a must for real business growth. Think about it. What company do you know has grown into a huge profitable business without spending a single dime on advertising? There aren't too many out there. The other thing is for those who have relied on SEO or Google to get their websites ranked and get traffic from Google, a lot of those people lost their entire incomes when Google decided to de-rank their websites for no apparent reason because they had a recent update in their algorithm. Google still does this, and they do it very often. Even if you do maintain a top ranking in Google, that's still not something you can really leverage. With paid traffic, once you get a system that converts like ours, and you get traffic and it gets you profit, you can scale up an extremely profitable business with very little effort on your part. Here's the issue with low-ticket offers. While rising advertising costs, and if you have a low-ticket offer like I described, there's no room for profit at all. If you're selling jeans or sunglasses or something like that, if you have Amazon who's fighting or your competitor, you're going to absolutely get crushed. If you're making $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, $9,000 or more in commissions, or you've got plenty of profit left over to spend on advertising without worrying if your ad rates increase by a few dollars. But if it's just jeans and sunglasses, you have a very thin, small margins, and you're not making big profits off of those. Advertising's rising, but you can't really raise your costs because you're battling the other guy who's selling jeans or other guy who's selling sunglasses. It's commoditized. If your business can afford to spend the most to acquire a customer, well, then you win. It's as simple as that. It's not about how can I get the cheapest traffic. The question is, how can I afford to spend the most on targeting the best traffic? I hope you get that, because that's definitely a writer downer. It's not about getting cheaper traffic. It's about getting more profit on the traffic that you're already getting. Again, a tiered or ascension product mix. Having multiple offers where you make multiple levels of product, because advertising is still going to rise, but you have back-end products that is very profitable. That's how you stay in the game. That's how businesses win. That's exactly how wealthy and successful direct response marketers and business owners think. By the way, that's what you are now. You are a direct response marketer or business owner. If you're in business online, that's what you do. If you're selling a product for, say, $15, notice the $15 in black, or excuse me, $20 in black, or $15 in black, and you spend $20 to get that customer, then you've got a sale. You spend $20 on advertising in the red, and you sell your product for $15, and guess what? You're $5 in the negative. The only way that works is if you have a proven funnel and system in place that provides you profits on the back end. As you can see on the bottom left, that allows you to take a loss on the front end. 98% of businesses don't get this. It's actually not that easy to put in place. But again, what you want to focus on is your advertising. Spend $20. You're selling something for $15. You're negative $5. But, let me back up there. But, okay, if you want to be profitable, the profit is what you see on the top right where you're not, okay? The front end is what you see. Okay, those jeans and sunglasses, you're negative $5, but on the back end, if you have other products and services, that's where you become more profitable. If you're making $6,000 and you spend up to $2,000 to acquire a $6,000 customer, you're still $4,000 in profit. Again, I don't know about you, but I'd really be happy to spend $2,000 to make $4,000 every single day. Wouldn't you? Even if I had to, I'd spend $750 to make $1,000 a day. I'd still be making $250 in profit. I'd even spend $4,000 to make $5,000 as long as I knew every time I spent that $4,000, I was getting $5,000 back. I would happily do that. Again, in this example here on the right, you spend $20 on advertising on sunglasses or jeans, you're negative $5, but because you have back-end profits at the bottom left, you can spend $1,000 in advertising now, and you would sell a $6,000 or $1,000 or $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 product. You would still have profits in the green here at the $4,000 level. That's the power of back-end profits. That's really what you call printing money. With low ticket offers, it's really just not possible. It's the fastest way into getting wealth. It's printing money on demand. You need a high ticket, top tier business model to do that. I hope you're seeing the difference here. No matter what you're considering selling, whether it be lotions, potions, pills in a network marketing company, or if you're on Amazon, or if you're selling sunglasses or jeans, then you have no back-end product, so you're not going to be profitable online. That's the key. I hope you're seeing the power of high ticket and top tier and what sets the professionals apart from the rest of the people out there struggling to make money online at all. This is one major difference. The beauty of it is it doesn't require any extra work or effort on your part if you have someone else handling the back end. That's why we recommend that you get started right away with a high ticket top tier offer. Don't work your way up to it. Start from the very beginning having your own top tier offer in place so you'll be able to get more money from each customer that you bring into your business. A lot of people realize that they need high ticket or top tier, but they didn't realize or have the first clue on how to get it or create or find one. That's why these steps, this training that you're going through is going to be useful and so powerful for you because we actually provide all of that for you. We provide the high ticket, top tier business model for you. You then leverage our skills and our efforts. We've already done all the hard parts since we've been doing this successfully literally for years now. That's why we recommend you plug into our system. We know it works. We have lots of people use this system and get results, literally tens of thousands. Rather than you trying to create on your own, you can just use our system if you want. We pay out using the system well over tens of millions of dollars in documented commissions to partners all around the world. These aren't just internet marketing guru partners. These are people who just got started, newbies. They've never made a dime online before, and they're actually making good money now for the first time in their lives with this powerful business model. We know what we're doing, and that's why we can almost guarantee that if you follow the entire step-by-step system and you actually complete it and implement it, you will be successful. To sum it up, a top-tier high-ticket business allows you to make maximum profits from day one selling high-ticket programs.
Going digital allows you higher profit margins. When you don't have to produce physical products, you can actually save on your costs. And that's how we pay out such high margins for our commissions. Having a top-tier product or products in your sales funnel is a must if you want to generate high dollars per customer, especially with the rising costs of advertising. It's more and more important. You simply can't run a business doing six figures selling low-end products at say $10 each because of the cost of advertising. It's just harder and harder every single day to be profitable when you're battling your competition and your advertising costs are going up when you have such a low customer value, when then spending only $10 with you. Now, we've made it to the end of step one. Hopefully that gives you an overview of what high ticket and top tier is. We're actually going to delve a lot more into detail in the next few steps, but I want to tell you first about this assignment. Let me explain how this part works. And at the end of every step of this program, I'm going to give you an assignment. I'm going to give you some things that I want you to go and do, to learn. Have you ever been reading a book, and in that book they tell you what your homework is, or that you should be doing something, and they tell you where to go and how to do this activity? You read it and you think, well, I don't really need to do it. I get it. I understand. I don't need to do the assignment. Then they go out on the next section. I think we all do this at some extent. But what I'm going to suggest is that you do the exercise this time. Every assignment that I give you has a purpose. This is to increase your level of understanding so you can earn more. The only reason that you're not going to get results with this program is because you don't understand what we're teaching you, and you don't actually take the action steps that we tell you to. You don't go and do the assignments. You don't put in the work. The assignments won't be that difficult. They won't be that hard. They just require you to actually do them. Please don't skip ahead. Look, you probably bought other programs or online courses and training before that you haven't gotten results with. I want this program to be a turning point for you. I want this program to be one of the things that changes everything for you. This is finally the time when you start getting results online. For that to happen, I need you to do the assignments. The first assignment, as I said, would be easy, and it is. I just want you to write down 2 realizations or breakthroughs you got from this first lesson. Scroll down below, and I want you to write down those realizations or breakthroughs that you got. Actually, go and write them down right now. You can come back to those later on. But what I want you also to do is watch the video below. This will give you some basics and understanding on how to get people to your website. Go do those simple assignments, and I look forward to seeing you on the next steps. I hope this brought some good value to you, and I hope you really understood it. If not, you can watch it again. You're welcome to pause the video, take more detailed notes, etc. Get in touch with your coach, and I will see you on the next step. Take care.